Hey, this is Courtney Sheffield, your recruiter's favorite recruiter, and this is Courtney's Corner. And today we have the Mrs. Magan Battle. Magan, introduce yourself to the people.
Yes, I am Magan Battle. I am actually the youngest broker owner in the city currently, as far as real estate broker. I own my own company, and we help people buy, sell, and invest in real estate.
I love it. And what's the name of that company?
Battle Realty and Company.
Ooh, and what is your slogan? I love it.
Let us battle for you.
That's it. Let them battle for you. I love that. So, my God, this is going to be it's filled with so much stuff.
Yes,
so let's dive in. How did your faith play a role in your journey?
I think that faith is the baseline to the journey. Like it is the essence of the entire journey.
It is.
Truly. Like everything is faith. It's a faith-based business. When you decide to be an entrepreneur, you signed up.
You did.
For it to be a faith-based business.
Tell the people. So what inspired you to transition from being a realtor to becoming a broker?
Lord, it wasn't my own inspiration. Okay.
I love it.
Not my plan.
But listen.
Yeah.
The faith kicked in.
The faith kicked in. You know, God has a way of, speaking to us, right? And so God actually, I was prophesied to multiple times, at least probably 4 or 5 in total, like over several years span though. What's crazy when I go back and think about it in retrospect, because even when I first started, one of my first clients I was talking to over the phone, she started prophesying to me over the phone. And she was like, I know you think you're going to be doing what you're doing right now, but you're not.
My God.
And I was like, what does that mean? Just like, God is going to bless you with a ministry. And I'm like, okay, I don't see me in anybody's pulpit though. So I'm like, I'm just a little confused on how this is going to play out.
Break it down.
And so, but continue to go on, do what I do, right? And then another year goes by, and then a client comes into the office, and she says the exact same thing that the previous prophet said, but added onto it. She was like, I know you think you're going to be doing what you're doing right now, but you're not. She said, you're not even going to be in this building.
My God.
And I was like, not in this building?
Where I'm going.
And this is when I was at the KW office. And I was like, I love my KW family. I'm like, so I don't see me ever leaving here.
Come on now.
And so I was just like, okay. So I heard it. I'm like, okay, God. And then from there, it was like, as I got closer to it, it just consistently got more and more intense every single year, every single month, every single moment, to the point where God was like, okay, how much more clear can I make it for you? So it was more so an act of obedience for me than it was something that I wanted to do.
Come on now.
Never anything I wanted to do. I've said it multiple times. I'll say it again.
You got it.
Okay.
It's clear.
Never wanted it.
I love it, but you love it, right?
But I love it. Yeah, but I love it.
I love that. I love that. So were there any moments where you felt stuck? And how did you push through?
Yeah. I think I've had multiple feelings of feeling stuck, like I say, especially as an entrepreneur, like you have ups, you have downs, right?
Absolutely.
I went through a season where I was down and, it was, I really feel like it was God getting my attention though in that season more than anything else, because I was still getting business. That was the thing. I was consistently getting business, but every time I would get, someone under contract, it would be another issue, another issue, another issue, another issue, to the point where I was like, okay, God, we're obviously not on the same page. So what is it that you want from me in this scenario? Like, and God had to truly force me in that way to gain my full attention.
Right.
And so
we
from
hard-headed sometimes.
Yeah.
Yes,
He like, you need to put me first at the beginning of your day. I need you to talk to me before you seek ye first. And what's crazy is in that season, I just kept hearing that over and over again. Seek ye first, seek ye first, seek ye first. And, the more I heard it, the more I was like, well, I might as well, because at this point, the bills is piling up. Like,
Jesus, your bill.
So I'm trying to figure it out. And so, but what's crazy is the moment I started to start my day off in the mornings, just sitting on the porch, journaling and reading my Bible and, you know, praying, when I did that, every single issue got resolved one by one. I learned how to take my clients' burdens to God. So I was truly interceding for them in that season, heavy. I had clients who were going through crazy situations. I'm talking about people dying, things that I couldn't even control. They were losing children.
Jesus.
It was so much happening, things that you can't even make up, that you got to look at it and be like, this is a movie. This has got to be a movie.
Girl.
But I'm in the middle of it all, right? And when you do business with people, or at least me, like, I genuinely love my clients. And so I'm feeling everything that they're going through while I'm still going through my own season. And I felt burdened down. And in that season, God showed me, okay, the only way you're going to get out of feeling like this, and the only way this situation is going to turn back around to where you're supposed to be, is if you start putting me first. And the moment I started doing that, the moment I started bringing my clients' problems to God, literally every single one of them got resolved.
My God.
And now, we ask God for peace. And now, you look at a situation like that and you're like, Lord, I just need peace. I just need peace. God is like, this is how you get it.
Come on now.
You get it by talking to me first. You get it by starting here.
Yes.
Then you can go out and do whatever you're called to do. But I'm the only one that can center your mind.
Y'all heard that.
Period.
Girl, I love that. That was so heavy. I love it. So what challenges did you face in making the transition?
Ooh.
And how did you overcome them?
Ooh, that transition. Whew, Lord, I'm still transitioning.
About it. Girl.
That transition is tough because, the thing about it is, like, I still sell real estate as well. But at the same time, it's like my clients don't fully understand the difference between me being a realtor and me being a broker, and not just being a broker, but owning the brokerage.
That part.
So they don't really understand that difference in dynamic. And so they're so used to me. I've spoiled my clients so much. You know what I mean? Even my past clients, they're so spoiled that
you did it.
I did it. I created these monsters.
Right.
And now they like, Megan, I need this. You know what I mean? This, but now I can't get back as fast because I'm having to do X, Y, and Z, right? So I think that transition is hard because you're playing both roles. Like, you are a realtor and broker, right? And owner and CFO, CMO, COO, all the things in one, because you're transitioning into this new place.
Yes.
So I think that challenge has just been hard, just in balancing. That's probably been the biggest thing. But I think that the way I've overcome it, and the way I'm still overcoming it, because it is still a transitional space, right? But I think the way I've started overcoming it is from me organizing everything. From me organizing the business, from me incorporating the new roles and responsibilities into my calendar. For, the more organized you are when it comes down to that transitional space, better off you're gonna be.
Absolutely. So you talk about being organized. What about the mindset? That mindset shift from a realtor. Now, you still sell real estate, and you are the owner. So what's that mindset like now?
Yeah, I think that I think about everything 10 times deeper now. I mean, it could be the smallest thing, right? And I know that I get on my agents' nerves. I know I do. I know I get on their nerves, but I don't care.
You don't care.
I don't care. And I'll tell them that. I really don't care if I get on your nerves or not, because my goal is to make you the greatest version of you I possibly can.
Come on now.
That's my goal. And so, with that being said, it's going to be some times that I'm going to have to say some things to you that you may not want to hear.
That part.
Right? And so, like, now it's like, okay, my mindset, now I have to look at every situation from every single different angle. Now I got to look at it and say, okay, if this happens, how does that affect my agents? If my agents do this, how does that affect the client?
That part.
I have to think about everything 10 steps ahead, just to protect us as a company and them individually as well,
Absolutely. So what sacrifices did you have to make to step into this next level of success? Let's talk about some of those sacrifices.
Oh, yeah. You sacrifice a lot of time.
Ooh, Jesus.
Time is probably my biggest sacrifice because I'm so hands-on, right? And the thing is, I'm already in this new place, right, that I didn't even initially want to be in. And now I'm here and I'm like, okay, but in order for us to do it the way it's supposed to be done, I have to train you. I got to make sure that you can show up just as great as I can.
Come on now.
I got to spend time building out the processes. I got to spend a time building out the systems. I got to build a time thinking about the marketing, thinking about the promotion, thinking about the events. So I would say time has been my biggest sacrifice because, you know, you want to just chill, but it's always something to do. So I'm trying to find my balance with like being outside, having fun, but still, you know, doing what I have to do to grow the business.
I love that. I love that. So what advice would you give to someone who feels God is calling them to a higher level, but they are afraid to step out? That's powerful.
Oh, that's super heavy because I can relate so well.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So well. Let's see, advice. I would say seek ye first. Seek ye first is the first step.
The very first step.
Because if you are not sure if God is telling you to step out or not, and you step out, that provision won't be there. So you need to make sure.
Run it back.
You need to make sure.
The provision will not be there if you're doing it in your own will.
Duh. Because if you think he's telling you, but you're not sure he's telling you, that could get tough.
Seek him first.
Seek him first.
That's it.
So that's where it starts at, because if you allow God to confirm that to you and you allow him to tell you, yep, this is your time to step out on faith, then you have to know he's going to keep you.
Come on now.
And he's going to give you everything that you need. He's going to walk it out step by step. Like, this journey has been a tough journey, but I would be lying if I said that there was not provision at every single point. Every time I turn around, it is outrageous.
Powerful. That's
honestly.
Powerful. But you have to know when you step out, God got you.
Period. Man, you got to know. If you stepping out of his will.
Then if that stepping out. And then when you seeking him first, he's going to drop it.
Yes.
Along the way, he's going to send people. He's going to send you the word. He's going to send you the finances. But you really have to seek him first in that area.
In that area.
Because if you ask, he's going to give you the answer.
In all areas.
That part. Every last one of them.
Every last one.
Every last one of them.
Talk about stuck. You gonna be stuck, woman.
Because I ain't gonna hold you. That was me at one point.
Yeah.
It's like I thought God was telling me to do something, and I went out and I wasn't covered. And we cannot be covered. We can't afford not to be covered.
No, because you don't know what's outside of his covering.
I don't want to find out.
I don't want to find out ever.
Jesus. Ever.
Don't worry about me, Lord.
Listen, and that's why it's good to have interaction with people who have walked the journey.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
People that has leaned and depend on God for.
Yes. Yes. Because you haven't really walked until you have to depend on him fully in itself.
Don't make me throw these something else.
fully in itself is a word.
Girl. Okay. What has been the most rewarding part of stepping into this elevated position?
Yeah, I would say the most rewarding part is having the Holy Spirit give me an idea. And then, you know, I do my research, I get with my team, and I start working through it. I'm like, oh, we figured it out. We can actually do that.
That's what he was telling me. Ooh.
So I think the most rewarding part is like having these ideas and being able to see them walked out, and also being able to see my agents grow through their process. Like, even just watching, you know, how their verbiage changes, how they do certain things, like seeing them grow and elevate, I think is probably one of the most rewarding pieces.
Speaking of your agents, how many agents do you have?
5, and then me 6.
I love it. I love it. So what is that like? I know it's family because I went to your event.
Oh,
like, and you guys have grown since then.
Since then, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, so it's definitely a family. Like, I told myself, you know, if I'm going to do this, God, and I'm going to be obedient, then I need you to send the people to me that I can see like family. And I can have a conversation with them like family. Because I can be a straight shooter. You know what I mean? And it's for their own good, right? But I want to be able to have those candid conversations and be able to tell them, no, I don't like that part. You know what I mean? And be able to watch them grow in that way. So I think that creating that atmosphere was very important to me. So we definitely operate as a family. You'll see us out together. You'll see us eat together. We're going to get money together. We're going to do everything, right? Because I have to be able to make sure that our characters are still aligning as well, right? Ooh. That I also can see you in your other elements and see how you act outside of the work,
because you represent the company.
You represent the company, and then you still are yourself, right? And that's the essence of you. If you aren't right all the way around in these other areas, and then you're trying to go and do business, you know what I mean? So I think that it was very important for me to make sure that the people that were a part of the company were people who were rooted in Christ, because that matters the most.
Absolutely.
With this being a faith-based business, you're not going to be able to handle some of these challenges that are going to come your way if you don't have this covering.
They don't understand.
But see, mine understand.
Ooh, that's so powerful. You know what? I've talked to a lot of people, but nobody's ever said that.
It's so important.
And that is, like you said, that's the essence.
Rooted. You got to be rooted. I could work through a lot of other things, but you not being rooted, I can't do nothing with that. If you're not rooted and your character isn't A1, I can't do it. I'm not able.
That's powerful.
Yeah, it starts there.
You heard that from the youngest broker in the city. No, the youngest. What is it? You own the
broker owner.
Okay, got it. Girl, listen. See, when I talked to her on the phone, I already knew.
That part from the jump.
We were on the phone by the hour.
That was already the podcast, right? They was saying, "They should recorded this."
Yes, this is so good to me. This is so good. So, and what I love about what you said, you have to be able to correct them.
Yeah.
And what people don't understand, as a leader, you have to be able to correct your team.
You have to.
And you have the vision.
Yeah.
And you know what God has given you.
Yes.
And we're not going to detour from that.
No, we can't detour from the vision. If the vision is for us to operate in excellence, because for me, it's like, I have to look, again, I'm looking at all sides. I'm looking at the fact that I'm the youngest broker owner in the city, but I happen to be a young Black woman as well.
Absolutely.
So with that being said, we already know how this goes in our society as far as us having to show up a lot more in a lot of these circumstances.
Absolutely.
And so with that being said, I refuse to not operate in excellence. I refuse, because I don't want anybody to ever say, well, she was, no.
Absolutely.
No. And that goes for me or my agents. And that's where I feel like, the correction always has to be there. Absolutely. Because I have to make sure that I'm steering the boat towards this level of excellence that we're trying to accomplish as a company.
So the correction means you also hold yourself accountable.
Yes.
That's powerful.
I'm going to hold me accountable and them. If I make a mistake, I'm going to say, hey, y'all, I messed up with that. Like, we need to do this instead of this.
Integrity.
You know what I mean? And that's the same way. And I expect them to always do the same thing. Like, do the right thing regardless. Always. Because it's going to come back.
Absolutely.
One way or the other.
Absolutely. So did you ever experience any setbacks or delays? And how did you trust God's timing?
Ooh, yeah. Setbacks and delays. Yeah, I mean, I think that goes back to that similar season that I talked about. Like, just, I'm like, okay, I'm getting the business, but all these problems, when are we going to come out of this season?
Absolutely.
When is it over with, right? But I think that, like I say, taking myself and rooting myself back in God and being able to say, okay, God, it's on you. When do you want me to? And honestly, when I did that is when His time, and He showed me, I've been waiting on you. I've been waiting on you. I've been ready.
Come on now.
Been waiting on you.
I love it. So what's the vision for the company now?
Yeah.
I've 6 now, including yourself.
Yes.
So
right.
What does that look like for you guys?
Yeah, I think that the vision is always changing, right? It's like I have my full vision, right? Which is overall for us to make an impact on the city. I really want to usher in wealth within our communities.
I love it.
And I want to make it accessible to your everyday person. There are a lot of, I've run into plenty of single mothers, even single fathers, or, whatever, right? Just young adults or whoever that don't think it's possible for them to buy a house because of what they've seen around them, right? But the opportunities that exist, the grant opportunities, the no down payment opportunities, these are such a beautiful setup for you to be able to get into your first one. And that first one becomes, it turns into a monopoly game now, because now you've built equity from the first one, and now that equity can do whatever else you're trying to accomplish, whether you're trying to go into another investment property or you are trying to start a business. You know, I feel like by us creating home ownership for everybody, accessible for everybody, we're ushering a new wave of excellence and also wealth within our communities, you know? So I think that's the biggest part of my vision, is to bring wealth to our communities. But the other part is to educate our community as well.
You guys just had an event, correct?
Yeah, so we just had our credit workshop. And you know, what's funny about it is, I have to say this, because literally we were able to get the partnership with PNC. I'm talking about, first of all, let me run it back. The season that I told you about, the down season. During that season, one of my clients in particular had, it was so many issues. I'm telling you, it was like she had gotten into 2 car accidents while we were under contract. I'm talking about already going through it as far as a divorce, issues on her job. I'm talking about went through so much. At every point, we were like, this got to be a movie. I'm talking about every other day. It was something else. And one of the issues was with PNC. Okay, we worked through that issue. Then it's a whole nother issue with PNC. So I'm having to try to help her work through these issues. And I end up getting cool with the manager at PNC, right? Because we're having to talk through these issues.
Absolutely.
So after I start putting God first and I start starting my day with God, after that, soon as that season is over, I'm talking about right after, as soon as I'm coming out, I already did a lot of business with Titusville Development, and we, you know, I list all of their properties, right? So one day, we're talking outside of one of the houses, and we were talking about how important it is to put God first. This is what we're talking about outside the house.
I'm following.
And he say, you know, regular conversation. He say, Megan, if you we start talking about how much I care about educating the community. He said, you know, it'd probably be great if you helped us host these workshops, and we'll pay for it. What the? We got a partnership with PNC. We have a partnership with PNC. Do you know anybody at PNC that you like to work with?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Actually. And it's so crazy because this is something that I had spent money, my own money in the past, putting together. Thousands of dollars, putting these events together to try to pour back into my community out of love, out of my heart, right? And for God to, it was a full circle moment for me, truly. It was like, you can't be serious. PNC out of all the banks.
That part.
Out of all the banks. Like,
that part.
And so from there, I've been so grateful for that opportunity, because it's given me a chance to do what I love to do, which is teach, you know, our community and grow our community, and not have to front, you know what I'm saying, all the bill up to provision.
Blessed be the Savior.
But provision, okay?
Come on now.
God is good. And so I've been so thankful. And so now we do one once a month. So our next one is coming up. It's going to be budgeting. And so, yeah, we've been doing them literally every single month, and they change up. The topics change up. Like last time we did credit, but my goal was to align them in a way that it made sense to build on, right? So it's like, okay, let's start with your credit, because I know you just got your taxes back, and I really don't want you to spend that money before you spend on something you don't need to. So let's get there first. And
now let's work on the budget.
Now let's work on the budget.
Come on, girl.
Now let's work on the budget.
With the budget workshop, when is it and how can they get?
It is, I will give you the day.
Got it. I love it.
My calendar is everything.
I'll post it.
My calendar is everything, y'all. Because if
I think that's the world.
Ooh,
it has to be.
It got to be on my calendar.
Or it's not going to get done.
Too. I'm not going to remember.
No, man.
But it's at the end of April.
Got it. I love it.
But yes, and I'll see you all the details in the link and stuff. And it's a free workshop, y'all. So you can come.
It's
free, and it is a brunch and learn. So not only is it free, but we're going to feed you, okay?
That part.
And we'll have mimosas. So you know what I'm saying? A little bubbly, little shrimp and grits.
Little education.
Get your money together. You know what I'm saying?
Get there.
You know, and so our goal is to just continue to build up on it every month. Like I say, after that, we'll get into home ownership. And then even for our business owners, we'll get into financial statements. We'll get into business planning.
I love it.
Because, you know, at some point we have to add additional streams of income, right? If we're going to build wealth, right?
Absolutely.
You can't just work at your job and build wealth. So we also have to step off into that lane also to make sure that we fully prepare our people for, you know, the opportunities.
Absolutely. I love that. Just the simple fact that you are eager and always feeding the community and building the community back up. That's one thing that I love about people. Like, if you're doing that in the right way, in integrity, and then most definitely to have a servant's heart from God, that's powerful. You can impact more people that way.
Yes. That's my goal. And I feel like, and not only will we have, you know, we have the workshops, but now we've started doing kind of like fun events as well. Of course, you know, we had the Black Affair in December or in November. And it was such a beautiful moment that it made me feel like we got to run this back. Because I really felt God's presence in that place. I can't even describe it. I felt overwhelmed with the amount of love. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I was like, if I can create this consistently, throughout our community, it's going to make an impact.
That's powerful.
You know, and so our goal is we want you to have some balance. You know, we want you to be able to come out, brunch, learn, have a little mimosa, but we also want you to just kick back on the rooftop and brunch with us at the all white party.
Listen, because everyone needs to relax, right?
Everybody got to relax. We got to balance. We got to balance.
Love it. So when you sold your first home, Magan, what did that feel like?
Stressful.
I believe you.
Yeah, I won't lie. Like I say, you know, it was very stressful. My very first client was very difficult. She was very difficult. She was an internet lead for one. I was on a team. And this lady was probably one of the craziest people I've ever had to encounter.
Ooh.
But I will say I learned so much, right? And then from there, I started thinking, well, how could I avoid this? What can I do about this? You know,
it was a
lot of it I couldn't do anything about. She was just crazy. But at the same time, I did remember looking at that check and being like, okay, all right, so maybe I have something here, right? But when you're on a team, you really don't make any money, honestly. So for a good year, I was looking at the work that I was putting in and the money that I was making, and I was like, all right, Lord, I'm gonna need to make more than this.
Right.
Because it's like you're getting cut twice. You know, you're getting cut by the broker and you're getting cut by the team.
But you don't have to do that anymore.
God is good. I ain't getting cut at all no more.
Won't he do it?
Won't he?
I love it.
Cutting for everything else.
That part. Listen, God is so faithful. Your journey has been beautiful.
Thank you,
and it's still being fulfilled.
Yeah. Yes.
So what's next outside of these events?
Yes.
Like,
I think that my plan is to transition more into a coaching space. Just because I really enjoy the educational portion of it. And also I feel like in terms of like agents, there's so many things I wish that I knew as an agent, right? It's like, if you could have came in with this, you really could, you know, be doing great, right? And so I think that as far as like finding my balance and then navigating this new space, in the future, I just see me, you know, selling less, but still making the same or more.
Talk about it.
You know what I'm saying? By being able to just kind of step back and let my agent step up. You know.
I love that. Such an amazing leader. Your team is definitely grateful for it.
Thank you.
Definitely blessed to have you.
Thank you.
Oh my, this has been great.
I appreciate the opportunity.
This has been great. So how can the people get in touch with you and your agent?
Yes, absolutely. You can go to our website, battlerealtyco.com, or you can follow us on social media, Battle Realty Co. On both Instagram and Facebook. If you're looking for me, you can find me on Facebook under Magan Battle, and that's Magan Battle. And then there's also a consultation link directly to my calendar as well. So if you guys want to book a free consultation and just kind of talk through whatever your situation is, you can do that as well. And then on Instagram, I am under Magan Battle, the broker, and that link is available there as well.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you guys connect. Don't forget, I'm going to drop the link for the upcoming events that Miss Battle will have. And what you tell your clients?
Let us battle for you.
Period. You heard that right here on Courtney's Corner. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you next time.